Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. So yesterday saw the release of Aether Revolt, and as always I like to do an unboxing of, well, what used to be called a fat pack is now called a bundle. So let's get on and have a look and see what's inside this box of wonder. So the basic size of the box hasn't appeared to have changed. Inside it says we've got a player's guide with encyclopedia, Aether Revolt card box, 10 Aether Revolt booster packs, 8 card basic land pack, a spin down life counter and a magic quick reference card. You can see already it looks like we've got one of those little boxes that they've added as an outside spacer instead of the sort of inside sort of throwaway spacing that they used to have. I actually ended up, the last one, so here's the one from the previous set, keeps all my dots in there, so it's only good use for that. I'm not going to open it up because I'll probably make a mess of this, but if you don't already know, if you can actually undo this, so down the seam without ripping it, there's a rather nice piece of artwork that goes around all the way around there. Okay. So there's our empty cardboard box. Looks like I said, makes quite a nice container for your die. We've got our player's guide in here. So you can see there's our spin down life counter. So 20-sided die here with the set symbol on there for Aether Revolt. This one is a sort of green die with mottled or blue mottling on there. I don't know how well that's coming out on the camera. Another thing I like about the sort of new design of these is they've got this sort of additional removable spacer here as well. There's our packs, there's our land pack, and there is our quick reference guide. Okay, let me just put those to one side for the moment, because as you know I always like to have a look through this. With quite a few of the recent unboxings I did with the fat packs and in the bundles, I deliberately don't look at the spoilers. And it's a new thing for me while I'm doing this. Okay, so I don't know how clear that is. The colouring on this is actually not very sort of conducive for reading. So you've got Revolt and Improvise, which are two things in the set. Yeah, I don't know how clear that is. Anyway, so those are a couple of abilities to watch out for, Revolt and Improvise. Top 10 coolest Aether Revolt cards. This has always been a feature of these encyclopedias, or at least as far back as I can remember. So we've got Tezzeret the Schemer, this is difficult to read, Ajani Unyielding, Shram Senior Edificer, Mechanized Production, Fatal Push, Indomitable Creativity, Rishkar's Expertise, Aether Sphere Harvester, Servo Schematic and Maverick Thopterist. And we get a bit of the backstory of the world. And then this is going to be our sort of major players, if you will. So we've got Tezzeret, Ajani Goldmane, Story Spotlight. So what they do now with Magic sets is they sort of tie key cards into the storyline, or they create, I suppose they create cards to tie in with the storyline. So we've got Consulate Crackdown, Piers Revolution, and Disallow, Battle the Bridge, and Dark Intimations, I think that is. Dark Intimations, yeah. And then moving on, we actually have our card encyclopedia. So with the second set of a block, because we're in 2 set blocks. There's our security card. You know, the set's always smaller for the second set, and then it looks like we've got a number of 2 colour cards at different rarities there. Often what you'll find is with the uncommons, the 2 colour, they often flag up sort of build around ideas for drafting, so they're always interesting to look at. And then obviously the set again has a number of artifacts in it. Got an artifact heavy set. Just looking to see what our non-basic land is like. I think I noticed that what they've done is that they don't have non-basic lands for all the colour pairs, only a few. It looks like there's only a couple there. And you can see there's the 2 planeswalkers. Okay, so we better start opening some packs, because I'm assuming that's what everybody's here for. First of all, so there's our quick reference guide, which I mentioned earlier. Let's have a look at the land artwork actually. So I don't know how clearly you can see this, and this is another, again, if you're not really that familiar with Magic sets, but this is a convention with sets. As a general rule, they don't produce artwork or land artwork for, sorry, should I say basic land artwork, for all of the sets. What they tend to do is where you've got the second set, or even in some cases the third set when it was a 3 set block, but that wasn't always the case because it depended on the third set. But certainly the second set, they just redo the artwork from the first set of the block, and you can see it's actually got the set symbol on there from Kaladesh. That's not the Aether Revolt set symbol, which looks like that. You can see it's not got the flourish in the middle there. So again, just a little thing to look out for. The second set of the block just has the basic land artwork from the or the basic land cards from the first set of the block. And we'll just flick through these until we start to see these repeat, just so you can get a feel, because I know there's people out there like me, a big fan of land artwork, and you know, like to put in appropriate land to complement their particular decks. Okay. I didn't look in the set encyclopedia actually to see how many repeats of land there are. What's the norm now? It's about 3 different pieces of artwork, I think. This sort of nice swirly organic look to a lot of the artwork. So it looks like someone's been playing with, I don't know if anybody used to do technical drawing, like, you know, French curves, those sort of things. And there we go. I think we've seen all that, the different types of artwork there. But as always, I do enjoy the artwork on these basic lands. I don't know if anybody saw the Commander unboxings I did, but the artwork on that was particularly good. Okay, so let's open up some packs. As I've said, I've not looked at really any spoilers. I might have looked at the odd, had a quick look, I think, at some of the key things in the set in terms of concept, like an overview, but I've not been through these in any great detail, so this is going to be pretty interesting for me. So starting off with the commons, we've got Audacious Infiltrator, Frontline Rebel, Metallic Rebuke, Unbridled Growth, Alley Strangler, Druid of the Cowl, Implement of Malice, Reservoir Walker, Destructive Tampering, Gonti's Machinations, so we're moving on to our uncommons, Morphist Revolutionary, Ridge Scale Tusker, and our rare is Kari Zev Skyship Raider. So it's always nice for an early rare to get like a character in the set, like a legendary or a planeswalker, and we've been well rewarded here. So this is 1 and a red for a legendary creature, Human Pirate. 1/3, first strike menace. Whenever Kari Zev Ship Sky Raider attacks, create a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token named Ragavan that's tapped and attacking. Exile that token at end of combat. Okay. So we have EDH fans out there, we have potential for a mono red pirate monkey deck here. Shipwreck Moray, so that's a foil, an island, and just a promotional card there for Magic Jewels. I don't know if anybody's playing Magic Jewels that watches the channel. I mean, I'd love to know your feedback on what it's currently like. I played the earlier Jewels of the Planeswalkers. I do have a copy of that because I think it's free to download, but I never really got around to playing it. But the Jewels of the Planeswalkers were always really good. Alien Evasion, Challenger's Revolution, Metallic Rebuke, Lifecraft Cavalry, Night Market Aeronaut, Aether Herder, Verdant Automaton, Watchful Automaton. So we've got 2 automatons. Obviously a cycle here. You can see you can have different activation colours there. There's obviously going to be one for it. Oh, and an Aegis Automaton, Countless Gears Renegade, Invigorated Rampage. So we're moving on to our uncommons. Salvage Scuttler, Ridge Scale Tusker, and our rare is Greenbelt Rampager. So this is a single green for a 3/4 creature elephant. So what's the downside? When Greenbelt Rampager enters the battlefield, pay 2 energy counters. So this is interesting. So basically, in order to cast this, there's a additional cost of energy. If you can't return Greenbelt Rampager to its owner's hand, and you get a single energy. It's a 3/4. It's a cool concept. Planes and a servo token. So obviously servos are going to be a thing in here. Actually, one thing I must remember to do as I'm going through is to flag up those new abilities so we can take a look. You can also see that obviously energy's in here. Aether Swooper, Alley Evasion, Chandra's Revolution, Resourceful Return, Druid of the Cowl, Mobile Garrison, so vehicles are still present, Sweatworks Brawler. So this is one of the new abilities. Sweatworks Brawler is a 3 and a red for a 3/3. It's got Improvise on it. Your artifacts can help cast this spell. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1. And it has Menace. So basically Improvise here in this set, what it's doing is using your artifacts to help you cast spells. In this particular, this spell. But of course that would be any spell with Improvise on it. Renegade Map. Bastion Inventor has Improvise and Hexproof on it. Universal Solvent. Cogwork Assembler, so we're moving on to our uncommons. Consulate Dreadnought, another vehicle. Wow, single colour is for a 711, but it's crew 6 to crew 6. So just to recap, if you've not seen the previous set, so with the crew ability here, you have to tap any number of creatures you control with a total power of 6 or more to crew the vehicle, and then the vehicle becomes an artifact creature. Tezzeret's Touch and Ethertide Whale is our rare, so 4, 2 blue for a 6/4 with flying. When Ethertide Whale enters the battlefield, you get 6 energy counters and you pay 4 energy counters, and you can return Ethertide Whale to its owner's hands. Forest and a Gremlin token. So something somewhere is generating Gremlin tokens. So Gremlins are a thing in this particular block. Decommission. So this is one with Revolt on it. So Decommission is a common. It's 2 and a white. It destroys a target artifact or enchantment, but it also has Revolt on it. If a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, you gain 3 life. So what you'll find with Revolt is it always starts off with this: if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, and then something. And that something is going to be peculiar to, say, the colour. You know, it's like in white. We've got life gain on this, so we'll keep an eye out for other, on colour or card specific, what do they call it? Conditions or effects. I'm just trying to think something else here that might be of interest. Oh yeah, so notice the wording: if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. So basically you can leave the battlefield to go anywhere. So it could be leaving the battlefield to go in the exile zone, leaving the battlefield to go back into your hand, leaving the battlefield to go to the graveyard. Frontline Rebel, Dispersal Technician, Unbridled Growth, Fourth Bridge Prowler, Universal Solvent, we've seen one of those earlier, Lathnu Sailback, that's a 4 and a red for a 5/4 vanilla creature, Implement of Improvement, Wielder Automaton, another automaton there, Aetherstream Leopard, has energy on it, Outland Boar, so we're moving on to uncommons, Consulate Dreadnought, Perilous Predicament. So what do we got in our rare slot? We've got Secret Salvage, 3 and 2 black, sorcery, exile target non-land creature, exile target non-land card from your graveyard. Search your library for any number of cards with the same name as that card. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Mountain and Energy Reserve. So that's where you put your energy counters. Bastion Enforcer, Chandra's Revolution, Shipwreck Moray, High Spire Infusion. Not surprising, we were starting to see repeats here because we're especially in our common slots. Cruel Finality, Willed Automaton, Lathnu Sailback, Iron Tread Crusher. Looks pretty extreme. Universal Solvent, I think that's about the third one we've seen of those now. Night Market Guard, Salvage Scuttler, so uncommons we're moving on to. Restoration Specialist, Aerial Modification, and our rare is another legendary creature. So this is Yahini, Undying Partisan, 2 and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature Aetherborn Vampire. With haste, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Yahini, Undying Partisan, sacrifice another creature. Yahini gets indestructible until end of turn. And there's a swamp and another survey token. The other thing is with the second set of the block being smaller, you know, if you're opening a lot of boosters, you're obviously going to see a lot of repeat cards quicker in the common slot. Call in the Brights, Precise Strike, Hinterland Drake, Unbridled Growth, these are a bit sticky, Fourth Bridge Prowler, Implement of Improvement, Ether Stream Leopard, Prize Fighter Construct, Bastion Inventor, this has Improvise on it, Renegade Map, Ironclad Revolutionary, so we're moving on to our uncommons. Hidden Herbalists, it's got Revolt on it. Thopter Arrest, and our rare is another legendary creature, Baral, Chief of Compliance, 1 and a blue, 1/3, legendary creature Human Wizard. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a spell or ability you control counters the spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Well, that looks ripe for abuse in Commander. Although, just thinking, whenever a spell or ability you control counters the spell, I mean, yeah, something you'd have to really think through actually, but you could get some interesting shenanigans going on there. It's an island and a Thopter. I was just thinking, you know, how much fun would a deck full of just counter spells in EDHB? I'm not too sure in multiplayer, but it's always fun, I think, to take a card and just see what you can do with it. Shipwreck Moray, Caught in the Brights, Precise Strike, Cruel Finality, High Spire Infusion, Implement of Ferocity, another implement here, Implement of Examination, Reservoir Walker, Destructive Tampering, Scrap a Champion, so we're moving on to our uncommons. It's got double strike on it. Reckless Racer, Reverse Engineer, and our uncommon, our rare is Walking Ballista. So it's an XX spell. So XX for a 0/0 artifact creature construct. When Walking Ballista enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. 4, put a 1/1 counter on Walking Ballista. Remove a 1/1 counter from Walking Ballista. It deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Oh my word. Oh. Okay, so this is very impressive. So this is the first one of these I've pulled anywhere. And I had no idea quite how nice they look. That foiling is incredible. yeah, that's a bit of a shocker actually. Like I've never pulled one of these, and I had no idea how nice the foiling was on that. That's going to have to go inside of a sleeve very quickly, I think. Wow. So we've got engineered explosives. X there for artifacts. I'm trying to make sure you can actually see what this is because it's just so shiny. The foiling is just like in totality. Like normally with foiling, I find you get certain parts of the artwork really stand out, but I don't see if you can see that. It's like almost like a sort of prism type rainbow effect going on there because of the way it's been foiled across the whole card. It's quite mesmeric. So anyway, engineered explosives, X artifact sunburst. So 2 sacrificed engineers explosive, destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on engineered explosives. The other thing is, if you've never seen this sort of card before, it's not like a regular foil. There's not many of these distributed in packs. You know, they're like ultra, it's like having an ultra mythic almost. And it's a thing that they've done since the last 3 or 4 sets. Ongoing they're going to do it, but these are pretty, you know, you wouldn't get many. You're certainly getting one in a fat pack. You'd have a pretty slim chance. Even getting one in a, you know, booster. I think you'd have to open multiple booster boxes. I can't remember what the ratio is, like how many probability wise you're likely to get in a, say if you opened a whole booster box, what's the probability of getting one? Perhaps someone wants to comment in the comment section and let us all know. Anyway, better move on. That's very impressive. I was just thinking we haven't had a mythic yet. There you go, better than mythic. Okay, so metallic rebuke, Dawn Feather Eagle, Emerald Gear Smasher, Leave in the Dust, High Spine Fusion, Cruel Finality, Filigree Crawler, Ice Over, Implement of Combustion, Aegis Automaton, Cogwork Assembler, and uncommons now, a Reckless Racer, Illusionist Stratagem. Our rare is a Scrap Trawler, so that's 3 for a 3/2 artifact creature construct. Whenever Scrap Trawler or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact creature in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost. Forest and a servo token. Well, this is a pretty nice bundle, eh? Take into custody, Girapol Osprey, Wrangle, Hinterland Drake, Livecraft Cavalry, Renegade's Getaway, that is, Aegis Automaton, Implement of Ferocity, Countless Gears Renegade, Narum Renegade, Renegade Aurelia. So we're on commons now. Spy Patrol, and our rare is Yahane's Expertise. 2 and 2 black. Sorcery. All creatures get -3/-3 and until end of turn. You may cast a card with non-converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. That's an interesting combination of things. We've got a foil swamp in addition to our regular land and a Thopter token. Okay, our last pack. Bastion Enforcer. Conviction, Aether Chaser, Shipwreck Moray, High Spy Infusion, Cruel Finality, Filigree Crawler, Augmenting Automaton, Implement of Combustion, Ice Over, Trophy Mage, Deft Dismissal, so we're on commons again, Maverick Thopterist, and our rare is Kari Zev's Expertise. 1 and 2 green sorcery, gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. We've got a swamp and a survey token. So that was a pretty interesting pack. We got 3, I think it was 3 legendaries in that, but of course the pull of the pack is the engineered explosives. There you go. We'll just savour that for a moment because that is a beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, there we have it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.